Blink counterattack and 12 pros went down. The Adepts also failed to get any damage done. 4 drones were killed, and that was in combination of Adepts and Oracle Harass as well. It just wasn't worth it for Skillous, and the reality is that he fell behind from that moment, and he never quite recovered. It was after that moment where we saw that Rogue was able to come in and punish the bases and deny the 4th base, so Rogue he maintained his lead. Unfortunately, it was Skillous that was stuck behind and doing whatever he could to recover from that moment, but it was very difficult to recover from those early losses. It shows just how important the early to mid game really is. If you sustain too many losses early on, it is very difficult to recover. Momentum is a big part of StarCraft and a big part of that final game as well. GG. GG, well played. Rogue, he will claim the series, will advance on into the next round, into the quarterfinals, and we are here to determine who will face off against Rogue in those quarterfinals. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran. It is Percival. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get ready here for our next matchup, as we are jumping into our fresh best of 3. Again, I do apologize for being a little bit distracted in the lead up to this, but I was just trying to set up the match and figure out if this was game 1, game 2, or game 3. But yeah, we jumped into this real fast and real quick. Like, as soon as we finished our series, as soon as we finished Skills versus Rogue, like, bam, we got invited into this. So I had to quickly set up. Regardless, GG. GG, well played. We're now getting ready here for our next matchup. Let's go. Maybe MaxPax can do better. I mean, Skillous played really well. Again, like, winding it back to game 1, I can 100% see a world where Skillous versus Rogue would have gone to the ace match. I was emphasizing a lot of what happened in that last game, but if you recall in game 1, it was very close, very back and forth. I do believe there were instances where Skillous could have broken Rogue as well. There were definitely a couple of key moments where he had some advantages. I'm referring to the moment when he got a full surround and when he reset the lurker count, and where he was on a bit of a timer, and it took him a little bit too long to commit across the map. Like, there was just so much happening in game 1 on Percival. It was really intense and really, really well done. If you missed it, I do recommend watching it. It was a really good match. In the end, it did end 2-0, but again, like, we could have very easily seen a tied series, an ace match, and we could have seen it go in either direction. Like, put MaxPax in the same position as Skillous in game 2, where the Glaive Adepts fail to do damage, and I mean, MaxPax would also lose, right? Like, it's just really difficult to recover from that much of a deficit, I should say. After losing those 12 workers, I mean. Meanwhile, Concussive Shell. Oh, we have Concussive Shell on the way here. Percival going to be building up, getting into a very committed, very aggressive initial start. Oh, once the Adept. But MaxPax, he does notice in time. Oh, no, he gets caught out. Nice catch. Yeah, he does get caught out to leave the Adept idle, and the Adept should go down. Massive pick off. Percival gets what he wanted, and now he keeps on moving, keeps on pushing. So the purpose of a Concussive Shell opener is to pull that off, is to catch the first unit. So it does catch the Adept. Behind this, going for what looks to be a 2-on-1 variation. Back at home, MaxPax throwing down the shield battery, getting ready here for the assault. As Percival's moving in. He's delayed by almost 2 minutes, but it's all good. If you remember, he wasn't making any lurkers though. What do you mean? Hello Jinx, hello, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? So now we are building up. Likewise, it's going to be a blink-based opener here out of MaxPax. How many gateways so far? It is going to be, I believe, 3. Yeah, 3-gate blink out of MaxPax. Getting to a third base, very standard, very safe play here from our Protoss player. Now, this Prism means that he will move out. He will be aggressive to contain his opponent. He shouldn't be able to break Percival, but we'll see. Like MaxPax, he's known for having some of the best 3 and 4-gate blink play in this matchup in PvT. So if he sees an opening, MaxPax, he will go for it. Now, he should be deterred from blinking forward just because of the concussive shell. Like, we have a couple of Marauders, but no bunker on the low ground. That is a concern. Yeah, no bunker. Tank is sieging in between. MaxPax going for the warp in. Does reinforce. Oh. Does push forward. Again, there is no bunker. Marine's going to be going down. This is still enough here to deter. Percival, he's holding on. Sets up his second tank. I'm loving the splits here. Let's go. Este Percival. Does him in, going for the prism. A couple of boys are being pulled. And so far, 3 SCV kills. Not bad damage, but MaxPax is going to be pinned. He's pinned behind the mineral line, and Percival, he will hold. So he will hold, he will defend. Meanwhile, across the map, MaxPax, of course, claiming his third base, getting saturated. And really, we're waiting for the moments where Percival can break out of his contain. Now, Stim is done earlier than usual. Oh! He's done a lot earlier. Stalkers, they can try to threaten and dive into the mineral line. You can see Percival, he does notice. Does react. Does react in time. Stalkers yet to move in. We see MaxPax going for a standard follow-up here. It's going to be forged into charge into a gateway explosion. So MaxPax, he's delaying his Colossus production. He'll get there eventually. As you can see, the Bay has just begun. But the earlier charge, it means that he can punish an earlier push, an earlier committed move out. As he's going to have a lot of chargeless available. Speaking of Percival, he does catch one Stalker. Not bad. As he moves out, you can see Zealots are ready to move in. Percival, he has to be careful. Now, there is an Observer keeping eyes on the main army. And again, MaxPax, he's waiting for that move out. He does spot it. He should be going in. Yeah, there we go. That does trigger MaxPax. He's going into the main base. Percival, he is distracted. Main base is exposed. Zealots get dropped in. Likewise, can go for the warp in as well. Boys being pulled away. So far, getting what, 4 CV kills. Getting up to 6. Thankfully, Prism is going to be hunted down. 6 SCVs do fall. Percival, he commits. Focusing on this push. Oh! He doesn't waste a stim. Scans out of time. Does see the mass charge lot. Ideally, Percival wants to bait the army into tank fire. MaxPax going for another run by. Percival taking a little bit too long here, but now we have a Colossus. Yeah, MaxPax, he has enough. Zealots coming in from behind. Yeah, they're coming in from behind, up the ramp. First tank is going to be targeted down. He gets one of the tanks. He gets 2. He's going to get all 3. Gonna get all 3 tanks. The bio army is getting caught out as well. Ay, ay, ay. And Percival gets caught out completely here. The tank count is reset. He's getting his third base as we speak. He's at least trying to. But he's hurting. Percival is hurting. We gotta drop into the main. SCV's gonna be going down. Zealots get into the third base as well. And Percival just cannot keep up here, going for another warp in. Even if the main army can't push forward, like there are just so many SCV kills, getting up to 20. 23 SCVs go down. Second Colossus has arrived. Zealots are wreaking havoc in the main. They just came to the production. They're killing everything in the main base. And Percival, he just cannot keep up. Attempts to stim. Once again, forced back. There are a lot of Vikings, but what about on the ground? There's what, 2 Marauders, a handful of Marines. Percival, he didn't have the worst starts, but alas, in the mid-game was torn apart. Left and right, 31 SCV kills. And Percival, he will hold on, but no, not even. GG, MaxPax, he will take a 1. He will take a lead in the series. Whew. GG. will take a lead. Again, Percival, he didn't have the worst start as he was able to catch out the initial units. He was able to defend quite well against the Blink Stalkers, but we did try to emphasize the charge follow-up. And this has become a very common thing in TVP, very common in the meta, is to go into early +1, early charge lots, and that is designed to punish any kind of early push like that. We saw that with those Zealots, we were able to collapse, surround the army, and just break Percival as he tried to move out, and also punish his move out with the drop across the map as well. It has become a common adaptation in recent months in TVP, and this is also why typically in the meta of TVP, Terran players are a lot more defensive, where instead of breaking out and pushing across the map, they break out and they defend back at home. They secure their third base, they play more defensively, more passively, and then they build up towards something greater. These early move outs are a lot more difficult to pull off, I would say. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and we'll see if Percival can bring it back and force the ace match, or if this goes the way of the Protoss. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Slastorm Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player, the red Terran himself from South Korea. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Percival. We go. We go. As we are going for a more economic opener here from Percival, likewise standard play here out of MaxPax. Once again, Persephone is one of the more common, one of the more popular maps in the map pool. We've seen it already in both series. We'll see how players do adapt, do adjust. Now, I don't expect Percival to go for another concussive shell opener again. That's usually you do something like that once in a series, not multiple times, as it's going to be more difficult to catch your opponent off guard. Much more difficult. Siege too far away, pixels are hard. I mean, even if he had pushed forward to siege closer to the third base, I think we would have seen a similar outcome. As we mentioned, like those that +1 charge follow-up is designed to punish those tank pushes specifically. So it was going to be difficult for Percival to find any success with that period. But there's that CC on the low ground, on location. We'll have to lift and land again, but for the most part, economic builds here by Percival. So far, so good. Going Marine first. Interesting. Now, what's interesting about this is that Percival, he doesn't scout. So no SCV scout. Likewise, because it's Marine into Reactor, there's no Reaper scout either. This should lead into a Hellion scout, typically. So we'd be seeing like Reactor Marine into like Hellion production, to Starport. So it's going to be a much later scout here from Percival. Because of this, MaxPax, he's free to do whatever he wants. He shouldn't really be too cheeky with this, but if he wanted to, it could be crazy and go for like a Twilight Council into like Proxy Dark Shrine or something wild like that. I don't know if MaxPax is really one to be that chaotic though. See, that does push. That does move out. Likewise, spots all the Marines. Behind this, it's not going to be the Hellion follow-up, it's going to be a Widowmine drop, so Percival, he will actually not get any scouting information until the drop moves out. I was assuming he would go for at least a Hellion first to get some vision, but no. we're playing blind, Poppy. Completely blind. Let's go. Back at home, MaxPax going for a Twilight Council into a Gateway Explosion into a 3-gate Blink build, just like the last game. So same build out of MaxPax, same build. So we go Percival, he will soon move out. Behind this slack, whereas MaxPax not really being too active either. He's not getting any extra gases. From here, he should be expanding, should be getting a third base. He has the money for it. And we'll soon be claiming that third. One of my drop is coming in. MaxPax, he does react. Will pull away in time. Oh my god. Does pull away. One probe does go down. Just the one, I believe. No, not even. Oh my god. Never mind. Yeah, the mine shots they get wasted on the gas geyser, and with that MaxPax, he will lose nothing. Cleans up the widow mines. At least Percival now is aware of what's going on. He now knows. Third base being taken. MaxPax does move out. And it's going to be on Percival to defend back at home. So Percival, he is contained on 2 bases. He has to defend. MaxPax going for another warp in. If he sees an opening, he will blink in. He shouldn't blink into the main, though. There's a tank in position. Oh, blinks in. Tank flow is going to be going off. Does he have enough fires to defend? Marines, they rotate over, but the tank is going to go down. Whew. Gets the tank. Won't get more than that, but that was worth it. That was well worth it here for MaxPax. Looking at the trades, he lost 2 Stalkers for 7 Marines and 1 tank. Very well worth it. And on top of that, he's keeping the tank out low. Meanwhile, the second tank out of position. Bunker is exposed. And Percival, he's just being pulled apart at this point. Yeah, you can see how quickly everything snowballs out of control. Like, 1 tank is sometimes all it takes. MaxPax, he pulls away. Once again, we should be seeing a charge and a +1 follow-up. Liberator does get some damage done. Not bad. Denies mining in the main. MaxPax rotating over. +1 now on the way. Now, this +1 is delayed. So it's a delayed +1 here just because everything's been so chaotic. And there's been a lot going on. It does get into the mineral line. 3, 4 SCV kills. It's 4 CVs. Takes down another tank. Ay, ay, ay. And that's the second tank going down. There's 2 tanks left. And again, even if Percival were to move out, just like the last game, Charge will be ready for it. Charge it would be ready. So MaxPax, he's safe back at home. Now he's taking up in towards Colossus. And Percival, he's pinned. And now he's forced to take a 3rd CC. 3rd CC's on the way. He's going to be stuck at home. At this point, MaxPax, he's free to take a 4th. You just take a 4th expansion. There we go. 4th expansion's on the way. Into Colossus. Into additional gateways. From here, MaxPax, he can get quite comfortable. It does go down. You get 6 probes, so that was worth it for the lib. Not bad. Get some counter damage. Percival, he will soon expand. And we'll see what kind of army he's working with once he breaks out. Has a decent amount of bio. He's now working on those Vikings. Still working on his first set. Now, I'm hoping that Percival, he's just posturing. He shouldn't push out with this. Just catching out the Stalkers. At least trying to. Percival, he does move out past the halfway mark. Prism gets caught. Oh! Does on siege. Percival, he is committing to this. Uh-oh. MaxPax is getting ready. Okay, thank God. Percival, he backs up. Pulls away, he'll reinforce. MaxPax looking for the army. Again, he wants that engage. Instead, Percival, he rotates to the left. He gets spotted. Percival, he can't siege on the high ground. He does outposition MaxPax. Yeah, the base is under fire, and MaxPax, can he commit into this? It's going to be a bit of an awkward attack here from the Protoss. Yeah, very awkward. The base is going to fall. MaxPax is coming from behind. The mine shot's going off. Takes down two of the tanks. Yeah, tanks are going down. Boys are being pulled. Oh, brutal force fields. Again, he's running out of zealots, running out of charge lots. And Percival, can he get on top of the Colossus? Up! Can he get it? He can! Barely can. Whew. Colossus goes down. Oh no. Never mind. Never mind. It will cost him the entire army though. Does get the expansion, does deny the fourth base, so damage was done. He does trade. But again, he will lose everything here. As he escapes with 3 empty medevacs. Or I should say 3 medevacs and 2 marines. He gets out of here. Now what I will say is that he did kill 2 Colossus. True. 2 Colossus that get sniped. So now they have to be rebuilt. We do have a back and forth here. We do have a back and forth. I mean, the fourth base was denied as well. So supply-wise, Percival, he can keep up with MaxPax. Can keep up. MaxPax, he gets caught out, not bad. Getting 1, 2, 3, oh, 3 Colossus, sorry, 3 Stalkers. 3 Stalkers go down, does pull back to the Colossi. Zealots take it into the natural. And now you're moving in. Colossus are exposed. Percival, does he go for the stim? He does! Stims in, does not get the Colossus. Oh, he gets punished. Oh, he gets punished so hard. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that was not worth it for Percival. Here moving in, and Percival, he just doesn't have enough here. We get some decent mine connections. Vikings, they get him with the Colossus. Vikings go down, and Percival, he just doesn't have enough here. Again, it was an intense back and forth fight earlier, but alas, lost a little bit too much in the process. Boys being pulled in, 10 SCV kills. Zealots hit the natural. And Percival looks like he may barely hold on to the third base, but at the same time, Zealots breaking in, catching reinforcements. Oh! Catching out Marauders, more SCVs. Percival, he's holding on. He's surviving. Just losing far too much. As that was 15 SCV kills. MaxPax behind this, working into a Dark Shrine, getting a 5th expansion. Oh, does miss rally. Yes, rallies across the map. Thankfully, does save the Colossus. Making now 2 Colossus at a time. After this, he can go into Disruptors, into Immortals. Has options. Being active. Likewise, MaxPax once again moving in. And yeah, GG gets called. Just has far too much here. MaxPax, he will claim the series 2-0, and he will overwhelm and advance on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Again, Percival, he did have some decent moments in this game, specifically when it came to outpositioning MaxPax. Like, he took the best fight he could have hoped for when he was able to outposition, get on top of the ramp, snipe the 4th expansion, take down 2 Colossus, and trade evenly with the army. It was impressive. Unfortunately, we saw that he wasn't quite able to stabilize from that point. MaxPax, he was still able to build up and overwhelm. Despite losing 2 Colossus, he could still just out-trade his opponents, and yeah, it just wasn't enough there for Percival. GG, well played. Again, some good moments, but overall was overwhelmed, and MaxPax will advance on to the quarterfinals, where he has his next opponent waiting for him! !B in the chat to have a look at the back of yourselves.